We need to talk about crypto. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the current state of the market and what no one else is telling you. Because the truth is, this bull run has been very underwhelming so far, especially for altcoin holders. And with America attacking Iran yesterday, we could possibly be looking at a World War III scenario. So I'm going to share my overall thoughts on the crypto market and my current outlook for the rest of the year, including some technical analysis to back it up. So let's start with Bitcoin. If you've been holding Bitcoin, you're in a great position right now. You've made a lot of money. Unfortunately, altcoin holders can't say the same thing. And the truth is, the altcoin game is harder than ever before. In previous cycles, you could just pick any coin and you'd make money. But the game has changed, and this cycle, the money is only flowing into a select few altcoins, and this is why picking the winners is more important than ever before. There are 17,000 altcoins, and the truth is that most of them are going to zero, and not many people are going to tell you that. Now, if you're picking altcoins that are in the top 100, they're normally pretty safe, and you should make a good return when alt season hits. But I can't guarantee that your low cap shitcoin that's ranked 1,000 is going to make you money. And that's why you need to fill your main bags first with safe investments. And then once you've got your main bags filled, only then gamble with 5 to 10% of your portfolio if you choose. Now, I still believe we're going higher, and I still believe we're going to see an alt season, but we may see some more pain in the short term before this happens, and I'm going to show you this on the charts in a sec. But first, let's take a look at the fear and greed index. So taking a look at the chart here, we can see that we've currently just hit 37 on the fear and greed index, and the market is currently fearful. Now, historically, these times of fear have historically been the best times to buy. If we look back at history, every time we hit this level was a previous bottom. So if you literally just bought every time we were fearful, you would be in a great position. And if you sold every time we were in extreme greed, you would have made a heap of money. But it's a lot easier said than done. But when I see that we're at these levels on the chart, this is telling me that this is the time to be dollar cost averaging in the market. It's not the time to be fearful or to be selling. It's the time to be accumulating strong projects with real fundamentals, because that's how you make real wealth in these markets, not by gambling on meme coins. Now, when we take a look at the Bitcoin chart, we can see that we're still following this very important trend line. And as long as we are continuing to bounce off of this trend line, I believe that we're still in a bull market, because this trend line has been support all the way since 2022, and it's continued to give us strong moves every time we've come down to this level. Now, the bad news is that we still have a bit of room where we could come down, so we may see some more volatility in the short term. Now, when we zoom in on the daily chart, we can see that we have a few key levels that we need to watch out for. I'm going to pull a volume profile, and we know that when we get to the top of the volume profile, if we don't break out, then it becomes more likely that we come back down to the point of control, which is this middle line here where the most volume is traded, and then the value area low based on the rules of a volume profile. Because we know Bitcoin likes to trade within sideways ranges. This here was a sideways range where it would bounce from the highs to the lows. This here was also another sideways range, and we were previously just trading within a small sideways range. But when you zoom out, this entire picture here is also just one big sideways range, and that's how Bitcoin likes to trade. But what we can actually do is we can actually pull our volume profile and also get our Fibonacci, and we can get some key levels on the chart. Now, the first significant level that stands out to me is going to be this level here, which is where the point of control is. Now, we can actually draw a box of support here. Now, this is the first level to watch out for. Now, the next really significant level is going to be down here at our Fibonacci golden pocket, which also lines up perfectly with the value area low. So this is going to be the next very key level for us to watch. Now, for Bitcoin, I see two scenarios. First scenario is that we've actually bottomed and we get a bounce from this first blue box here and we put in another all-time high. But the other scenario that I see us playing out is that we potentially come all the way back down to that golden pocket and then get a bounce off of that level and break out from there. Because in this scenario here, we'll still maintain a bullish market structure where we've got a high, a lower high, a slightly higher high, a lower low, and then that's when we'll be looking to put in the next higher high. Now, I do believe that that scenario is going to be the more likely scenario, but we could also see a bounce from this level here. So these are the two scenarios that I see playing out. Now, the reason that I think that we may see some more downside in the short term is because on the weekly chart, we're actually printing a bearish divergence where the price action is getting higher, but our momentum waves are actually getting lower. And I actually warned about this in my video a few weeks ago. And I said in that video that we cannot ignore these bearish signals on the chart. Just as I warned in my video, it's actually been playing out perfectly, exactly as I predicted. One thing I find very interesting as well, when we actually look at our trend line from before and we zoom in, we can actually see that Fibonacci golden pocket level down here actually lines up perfectly with our trend line. So that's why it wouldn't surprise me if we do come down to revisit that level, and that's going to be the significant level right there that we do get a bounce off of. So how would I be playing these markets? Well, I would be dollar cost averaging into strong altcoins right now because we don't know for certain where Bitcoin's going to go in the short term. We're using technical analysis to predict the most likely areas, but it's never guaranteed. And this is why dollar cost averaging now is going to be your best strategy, because if we do get a bounce there, at least you've been able to pick up some great altcoins at some discounts. But also if we do end up coming lower to that lower level, then you still have cash on the side to be able to put in and accumulate at those lower levels and to get your average down. But if you're not in crypto at the moment and you don't have any crypto, this is a great time to get in and to start accumulating. And for people who might have got in at higher prices, this is your opportunity to really lower your averages and set yourself up in a good position for the remainder of the bull run, because I do think that the bull run is still going to continue. Now, there's one more thing I wanted to talk about. A lot of people are calling for this to be an extended cycle that goes into 2026. I'm going to tell you why that's dangerous, because the truth is crypto is player versus player. You make money by selling your crypto to someone at a higher price. So you always need people to believe the price is going higher. Otherwise, you have no one to sell to. You need exit liquidity, and that's why at the peak of the last cycle, all of the whales were calling for 100k Bitcoin while they were secretly selling their bags. Because they need you to believe price is going higher. It's almost like a game of chicken. Whoever sells first wins. But in order to do that, you have to get in at good prices. Don't get me wrong, I still believe prices are relatively cheap right now and we're going a lot higher. But when we start getting to these higher prices, you need to be ready to take profits. Because during those phases of euphoria, it's very easy to let your greed take over. And we know in the bear market, altcoins drop 70 to 90%. And you don't want to be stuck holding the bag and having to wait another 4 years. This is why you need a profit-taking strategy. Because if you don't have a plan, you're planning to fail. Most retail investors just think they're going to perfectly time the top and sell at the peak. But how many ever do? Top traders even struggle with this. And you think that you're going to be the exception? Me, personally, I plan to dollar cost average out using a multi-step exit based on technical analysis. That's my plan. But you're just going to sell when you think it's for peak? Based on what? Look, if you want to know the exact levels I'm planning on exiting, book a coaching call with me. I'll sit down with you one-on-one over Zoom and I'll break down my strategy for you. The money you'll make exiting the market properly will be far more than the tiny amount it costs for a coaching session with me. But in conclusion, guys, I still think that we're headed for much higher prices, even if we do see some more downside in the short term. I think dollar cost averaging into the right coins now is the way to go. And if you do that and you have a profit-taking strategy, you're going to make a lot of money. If you guys want to know the coins that I'm buying right now, you can get my top 10 list. Just click on the link in the description below. But besides that, that's pretty much all I've got for today's video. So make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.
Bitcoin, please go to moon. Stop going sideways now. Don't ever say we going down to 1K, but Mr. Novo, grazie, we have bottom it out, Novo, grazie is bullish. Bottom it out, don't ever rise is bearish.
Bearish fall to the 1300.
Novo, grazie is bullish.
Bitcoin could be at 40,000.
Let us go to moon.